Schutz, and I'm sitting here at Westwood Shores Country Club with Rosalyn Hamrick. And she's going to talk today about her book, Emily, and how it came to be, and what's happened since she wrote it, and all the details involved. And I wanted to share it with the people because we have some great writers in this community. And now you guys are just moving in and building your home here in Westwood Shores, and so we have another one. So tell us about Emily and how it started and how God placed it in your heart and moved you to write it.
Yes. First of all, again, I'd like to thank Westwood Shores because this is a beautiful facility. And the people of Trinity, and just thank them for opening up their heart to me. And I didn't realize there were so many authors in this area.
Right.
And the way Emily became Emily is we have been an empty nester for a while, and we sold our place in Virginia, and we've been traveling for like 3 years. And our first year we went from condos, hotels, bed and breakfast just to see America.
Right.
Well, diggity daggone, that got real expensive. And my husband says, what about considering an RV? And so we bought an RV and we started traveling that way. Well, my youngest son knew that I'm not going to be able to bake no turkey in no RV. He says, Ma, you're always used to hosting Thanksgiving. Why don't we do that? So we was on our way to Kansas City to be with his in-laws and to have Thanksgiving there. Well, a horrible storm came up. I don't know if y'all ever traveled through Kansas. When them storms come, oh my goodness. I said my prayers because I thought I was going home. I said, oh, we're going to die. But needless to say, we tried to get to Kansas City and we couldn't make it. And so what we did, we pulled over and Jim says, well, the only alternative is to go to Denny's or go to another restaurant and just get a dinner there. We did, and it was okay.
Right.
But on our sideline trip, we called them and told them, and they said they'll have leftovers. I said, fine. So we was just going through, oh, woe is me in a little bit because we missed out on family. And so we was on our way to getting back onto the interstate, and I looked over at a field, and because it looked odd to me, and I looked over at a field, and it was a field full of tiny white crosses.
Really?
Yes. And so when I saw those white crosses, I immediately choked up. It was almost like I ate ice cream. You ever eat ice cream real quick and you get cold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And immediately, I'm a nurse. I'm a retired nurse. And I thought, well, shoot, I've done retired. We've been all over America, and now I'm going to stroke. That's what I felt like. Doggone it, anyhow. So that's what I felt like. I was going to stroke. But no, I'm looking at these crosses, can't talk, and in one thought, Emily was given to me.
Really?
Yes.
In just that gap of time?
Just that gap of time. I just ate. It wasn't heartburn. It wasn't heartburn. It wasn't a stroke. But one of the best experiences of my life has been the honor to write Emily, Twice Loved. And so in that one heartbeat, just like that one thought, I believe God gave this to me from front cover to the back.
Now, your husband, Jim, is an author, a published author.
Yes, he is.
But you're not.
No.
Until this is the first thing you've written.
This is it.
And you hand wrote it on stacks of yellow tablets.
Yes. How about 21 legal?
You are an amazing person.
Legal pads, 21 legal pads, and 33 Bic pens, disposable Bic pens.
Wow.
I would sit and write, and when I was done, I'd toss it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
By the end of that day, I had paper like that and Bic pens everywhere.
So tell us about the publishing. You told us how it came to be, and they loved it when you first sent it in.
Well, what happened was he was on his fourth book, and I was used to his publisher calling. And this is what I do. Answer the phone and hand it to him. Answer the phone, hand it to him. And so what happened was Jim encouraged me to give him all of those words on the tablets and let him put it in the book form the way he knows to do it.
Right.
And he kept it. Well, what he encouraged me to do, he said, well, why don't you show this to somebody? He said, honey, I'm telling you. He said, I can't read it without crying. And my man don't cry. We've been married 47 years, and I've probably seen him cry maybe this many times
Right.
on one hand.
Right.
And I said, really? He said, Jay, you've got to show this to somebody. And he did not push me to his publisher.
Right.
He just said, you've got to show it to somebody. So what happened? One day I think he was on the beach. I think we was down in Alabama. He was walking on the beach and I'm by myself, and he left his phone up there. He just wanted some quiet time. And so what happened was his publisher called, and I said, would you do me a favor? My husband keeps on saying that I need to get this in the hands of a publisher, a book that I wrote.
Right.
And briefly, I told her a little bit about it. I told you. She said, sure. I said, but one thing I want you to promise me. Don't show it to nobody. Because I didn't want to embarrass myself or embarrass Jim.
Right.
Because, my vernacular probably is as relaxed as a vernacular can be. And then Jim is smart. I mean, I'm a retired nurse administrator. I'm no dummy, but not in book writing.
Right.
So what happened? She did, and she took it, and Jim sent it up to her, and I told him what I did, and he said it was a great idea. And I said, well, at least I can get some feedback.
Right.
So 1 week went by, I didn't hear from her. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks. And so I already had it in my little mind that it was going to be rejected, but I was going to get some good feedback.
Right.
Right? Because you want that. Sure. I didn't expect for it to be such a success as it is.
Right.
And by the way, I got my first royalty check today. Yes, girl. Wow.
Yes, go, girl.
I know. Woo. So I went shopping.
Yeah.
And so what happened was after that 5 or 6 weeks, she called, and again, Jim's in with the book deal with her, so I thought it was just going to be for him. And she said, no. She said, this is for you. This call's for you. And I said, okay. And she said, I do have to tell you this. I told you I wouldn't show it to anybody, but I had to. I took it to the board because there's no other book out there like this. That's exactly her words. And I went, are you kidding me? Because they have thousands and hundred thousands of books,
Right.
And so I said, okay. And they said, we want to publish it. It's got to be published. And I went, did I do a dance? I said, oh, my first try, because statistics say 97% of writers that write a book does not finish it and does not publish it. Do you know only 3% does?
That doesn't surprise me.
No. And I looked it up. So I'm one of the 3%.
Yeah.
So that's how it comes about. And then after that, it takes a lot of work.
So now tell us about Emily. Who is she? What is she so famous for?
What she is, there's 2 Emelies, and you'll read that in the book. I can't tell you anything more than that, because then when you get to it, it will spoil your reading.
No, we don't want to spoil any surprises.
No, and they're totally surprises. It deals with a controversial issue as well as common everyday country life. What happens, it's 3 generations. Emily deals with 3 generations in a setting such as this rural area here. And it shows how those 3 generations, their lives are made up of good decisions, poor decisions, and most of them are well balanced. But when their lives become unbalanced, they must rely on God to bring it and restore their family back.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And it does happen.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't take away the sting of all of the decisions that was made, but it does make life enjoyable again when you get him in the picture.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I know that everybody who sees this video will be looking forward to reading it. And I do want to welcome you to Trinity, and we're just so glad you guys are here, and we're excited about getting to know you. You're just an amazing couple. And thank you for opening up and telling us about Emily. And you guys, get a copy. I haven't read it yet, and when I read it, I will definitely be doing a book review. But get you a copy of this book and find out all the surprises in it.
Yes. And one other thing I did want to read, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
In the book, I was wondering this afternoon what I would like to tell the people. And if I would say in one sentence what Emily is about, it's about this. If you only live each day with no preconceived idea on what it should be, but rather live it as it presents itself, you'll be a much happier person.
So earlier you were talking about now that the book is out and it's becoming so successful that someone's looking at it for a movie. Tell us about that.
Yes. First of all, I was really surprised, and yes, they are looking into it becoming a movie. And I was really surprised. As much as I love Emily, I didn't realize how many other people would learn to love her too. I'm getting people, we even have people calling us on the phone. I don't even know how they got my phone number. Yeah. But they'll send us reviews saying how it's changed their family's life, their daughter's life, the grandmother, how her life has changed. And the words they're using is enlightenment.
One more question.
Yes.
Who do you want to play Emily?
Who do I want to play Emily? Oh my goodness. Ironically enough, I've been having book signings, and I would like to see, I'm going to recommend to this film company that I have a list of people that I've signed their books, and I've kept cards, I've kept phone numbers, contact numbers. I would like to see them bring an unknown in.
Really?
I really would. And let somebody like myself, I wasn't an author, but I am now.
Right.
Same thing with that. I'd like to see them bring people in, and they weren't an actress, but now they are. You know? That's what I would love to see happen.
Excellent.
And whenever and one other thing I gotta tell you, I was here last week in Livingston. And you know, when you go shopping and, you know, I'm sorry, sometimes I look like a ragamuffin. I got my hair in a ponytail. I've got, you know, regular clothes. I mean, you know, I don't put on makeup. I don't put on nothing. Well, I'm out shopping and someone recognized me. Is that awesome?
That happens to me a lot.
Yeah. And I'm going, how did you know me? You're the author. You're Emily. And I go,
yeah.
Yay! That was so cool.
It really is.
So cool. But I do appreciate Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple iTunes. They caught the vision of Emily, and they've been selling her. As a matter of fact, she sold out on Amazon twice.
Wow, that's good. That is awesome.
Yeah, and it's a humbling thing
Yes.
to experience that. But I do thank you for having me as your guest.
Well, I'm enjoying it, and I know that everybody else will. You guys get out and buy this book, and I'll be looking forward to when the movie comes out. And I'll be able to say, I knew her when. All right.
Good.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Awesome.